As a learning opportunity for you as a teacher and a learning leader, what did you think of the process?
I think it's good as far as a collegial activity goes. This is what you'd be doing when you're moderating work.
Yes.
Reading English.
Yep. Not necessarily English.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. I jumped in too soon.
Other
Yep.
subjects do it as well.
Yep.
But this is very common, and your faculty would be doing this.
You'd want to hope that they would be, yes. Yeah. I'm not in the school, so I can't say whether they are or they're not doing these sorts of things. But what's important is that you all have the same process. Not every school, but within your school. So that each of you knows and what to expect. When you come together and you bring your writing samples, doesn't matter whether you're a history teacher. Everything that you saw in NAPLAN, in those 10 criteria, need to appear in every piece of writing, if it's longer than a sentence. So it doesn't matter. It's not just English teachers' issues here. If you have to write a mathematical problem, you have to do exactly the same process that those 10 criteria look at. You must write to an audience. When you write, it has an audience automatically, whether you want it to or not. If the audience is you, then you write for a different purpose. The audience sets the purpose for writing. Not every piece, of course, will have a character. We know that that's down the storyline. But it has a main idea. It has other features within it. We need to unpack what are those other features within that writing. We've just touched lightly on looking at a writing piece, looking at the vowels, the progression points. So if you had to plan from this writing piece, do you know what you'd do next? If you were the teacher of this child, we had this discussion at one table. The child was sitting within, may I use your example? Yeah. The child was sitting, looking at the data, looking at the writing piece and everything else. 4.25. Different parts of that. Maybe not secure because the piece was quite simple. If we wanted to make that piece with a few more ideas, whether they're factual ideas or fantasy ideas, it doesn't matter, it's still ideas. We know the child, if this piece is probably at an early 4.25, then they're probably fairly secure at 4. Okay, that's the zone of proximal development. We're going to go on after morning tea and look more heavily at that zone of proximal development. But that's their safe zone, 4. 4.25, or might need a bit of help in that area. Not too sure about that. So where do I go next? What can't they do in 4.25? What's not secure? And what's available in 4.5 I could teach? From your standards at the level, through your progression points, they add pieces that the student needs to learn. It lets them grow towards 5. They need to grow towards 5 with your support. Do you understand where you might go next? Your vowels, your progression points, your continuum, and your teaching strategies are all available on the department website. I've given you hard copies. For a short while I will put a lot of the documents that I've done about vowels and continuum on our NMR website for you to download, but they won't be there for long because I'm actually not quite sure about copyright. I think we could put it up. All right. Any questions about this morning's session looking at data or any other questions?